I'm Raymond. Glad I could be here today. First of all, I want to make one little correction. This was never meant to be a book. I mean, I have in my career published over 100 books. This is a collection of pictures. There's about 100 pictures here that illustrate 50 years of hate, violence, and riots in Chattanooga. And it will illustrate what I'm going to be talking about. And basically, if I had a topic for what I'm going to be saying, it's going to be know your enemy. Because your enemy is bigger than you think. And more insidious than you think. Adam Smith, all of you know who Adam Smith was. He was the hero of the capitalists in the old days. He used to talk about the silent hand that manages the free market system. I think of the silent hand as the hand of oppression that holds people down. Well, the hand is made up of fingers. This finger I like to think of as the bosses. These are the corporate leaders, the elected officials, the judges, people that tell you what to do and have means of enforcing it. This finger I think of as the media, which has a potential of being benign. I've had a lot of friends who were reporters. However, it is also used to shape and manipulate and form public opinion to help the bosses. Next, you have the bankers. These are the ones who reward you if you be nice and do what the capitalists want you to do, and they harm you if you don't. Third finger might bother some people. This is the reverends, because from the earliest times, religion has been a part of oppression. During the French Revolution eradicated religion in France. When Napoleon came back and became an emperor, the first thing he did was bring the priests back, because he knew he had somebody to tell the people, be nice, be good, you'll get your reward in the hereafter. Don't be worried about what's happening now. And it's been that way ever since. In this country, segregation originated in the churches, because the slave owners wanted their slaves to hear, servants obey your masters. And they had balconies built in their churches for slaves to sit on. That's why in more recent times, blacks had to sit on a balcony when they went to the theaters. As a West Coast man, when I first came to Texas, I was amazed they wouldn't let me sit on the balcony, because out there we always liked the balconies, because up there you could smoke, you could throw ice on people downstairs if the movie was boring. But they wouldn't let me sit, that's for blacks only, they wouldn't let me sit up there. But that leaves the thumb. There's the fourth finger. That's the military and the cops. That's going to do whatever means necessary, up to and including murder, to enforce what the bosses want. Now that is what you're up against. When George Washington made his farewell address, he warned the American people that their greatest threat to liberty was the military-industrial complex. Now, Chattanooga is a perfect example of the military-industrial complex gone wild. It worked in Chattanooga like it's not worked anywhere else in the country. Over 150 years ago, there was an industrialist from Indiana named John T. Wilder. He was an iron maker. He had iron furnaces. He made iron. When the Civil War came, he became a colonel in the Federal Army. He was a brigade commander. He got captured in Kentucky and promised himself he'd never let that happen again. So when he got exchanged and everything, got his men back and all, he went to his commander and said, I want to be mounted infantry. And the general said, okay, but you're going to have to steal your horses, whatever. So he took his men out. They got horses, mules, anything they could find, and they mounted. And whenever they came on somebody with a better mount, they took it. So by the time they got to Chattanooga, they all had good horses. While they were in Tullahoma, he witnessed a demonstration of a Spencer repeating rifle. This was a gun that could shoot 7 times without reloading. Everybody else had one single shot. You could get off 4 shots a minute if you were lucky. You could get 7 shots off in 30 seconds with a Spencer. Wilder immediately saw the difference. The Army didn't. They wouldn't buy them. It was too expensive. Wilder made his men take bank loans from his hometown banker and buy the guns themselves. This was the first repeating rifle brigade in the U.S. Army. At the Battle of Chickamauga, Wilder was the closest thing the Federal Army had to a genuine hero, because his men had the firepower of 3 divisions of single-shot guns. And he got enough prestige out of that he was promoted to general. He decided he'd had enough combat, so he transferred himself to the quartermaster. And while he was traveling to get here, he'd been seeing iron deposits and coal deposits and stuff. He said, "This is a great place. There's no reason to go back to Indiana. I'm going to stay here and get rich." So he started planning this. He organized other members of the Army of the Company. That was the military force that was here then. He got 73 of them that were in, just no staying and going with his plan. Well, there were also 5 regiments of U.S. colored troops in Chattanooga then. In addition to having an excellent combat record, these men were used for work details. They built the fortifications. They also built miles of railroads and roads. They built the first bridge over the Tennessee River. They built an iron furnace. They built rolling mills. They industrialized Chattanooga. And Wilder, at the end of the war, and his clique sold all this as military surplus and bought it themselves as newly created civilians. USS Grant protested to Congress that the government was being defrauded out of millions of dollars. Well, Wilder spread a little money in Washington. He had friends in Congress. It didn't hurt him. So he got all the stuff. That's how Chattanooga came into being. He also made friends with Nathan Bedford Forrest. I don't know if you know who Nathan Bedford Forrest was. Okay. Forrest had some trouble in Washington because of Klan activity and stuff. So Wilder said, "I'll stand up for you in Washington. You keep your people out of Chattanooga." And they reached an agreement. Wilder advertised throughout the North, "Come to Chattanooga, it's safe. You don't have to worry about Ku Klux Klan or anything like that. It's a great place for investment and we will all get rich." And they did.